embraced waste management by learning skills that got them to appreciate how rubbish would turn to lavish. With an aim of eradicating poverty, women were as well taught how to make income-generating briquettes from what many called waste. If two heads are better than one, then Ndejje University and Church of Uganda are a march of success.
This week,
the top management cannot make it, where even those in the maintenance department, I know the greatest university always is grounded to a halt when the maintenance staff, they might be in charge of but should they lay down their tools, we are finished.
Ugandan government to give electric motorcycles to all riders. Bidding farewell to former Pope Benedict XVI. Welcome to Ndejje University Television. My name is LONA KASASA Jemima, and this is live at 8. Here are the news in details. Ending the high fuel prices in the country, the government has partnered up with private companies in order to provide electric motorcycles in form of border borders to all riders. Sarah Chirabo has more on the story.
Whereas fuel prices generally increased worldwide following the COVID-19 pandemic that resulted into the organization of the petroleum exporting countries cutting their collective oil production, Uganda has been affected in different sectors. Uganda is a border country, and this significantly contributes to transport sector and the economy. Besides being significant, borders also pose a dilemma by producing carbon dioxide, which is detrimental to the environment since they use fossil fuel. Speaking on Saturday, President Museveni said the plan is to shift the entire transport system from petrol-driven to electric as one of the measures.
We have agreed with some investors to take away the petrol-diesel ones, pikipikis, and give the owners the electric ones, free of cost. Just swap. How will the investors recover their money? By the government licensing them to operate charging stations where the electric batteries are recharged. That's how they recover their money. They bring electric pikipikis, they give them free to our people. They take back the ones of petrol, and they recover their money by we allowing them to run charging stations. This swap or KASASA will save the pikipiki operator 50% of the cost.
The project innovation delivers an electric bike with 3 kilowatt-hour motor power, It can deliver 120-kilometer battery range at full charge, and it charges directly into a 240-volt socket, and it can deliver 80% charge in under 2 hours. The product innovation begins within our production workshop, where we're able to fabricate some component parts, and some of the parts which are produced with the Juakali, in partnership with the Juakali. The assembly begins with the chassis section, then the power section, then the body building, then the electronic section, and finally conducting tests on a complete e-bike. In partnership with other service providers, we hope to establish a network of charging stations and battery exchange points to enable or to provide a seamless infrastructure. The complete e-bike achieves the overall aim of retaining 50% of the value chain within Uganda.
Reaching out to border riders in Kampala, appreciated the government and welcomed the development, saying they are ready to cope up.
Amawulire marungi aga bodaboda ez'amasanyalaze. Kitusanyusa we tukiwulira mu matu gaffe nti bodaboda ez'amasanyalaze zajja mu sisitimu yaffe twegattako, kijja tukolera bulungi. Akati katutandika okukigoberera, tujja kutambula nazo. Ate kirungi nti waliwo enkola eriwo nti twotwalayo eno ne bakuwa eri, iyo sisitimu nnungi era nkola nnungi. Katutambule nakyo mpola mpola nga bwe tukigoberera, bwe tukiyiga, tujja kutuuka ku buwanguzi bwakyo.
Some suggests that the government should also consider those who would like to purchase as well.
Bwekibanga kyakuwangala teziwangala naye kukola sente zikola. Oyinza gikozesa emyaka nga 2 n'osanga ogifunyemu sente n'odda mu kirala. Nenze nga bwendaba ku bavuzi ba boda ziyinza okubakolera. Nekyesimanyi oba ya sente meka oba kwaba batayina boda ez'okuwaayo kati bo banaganyirirwamu wa mu gavumenti yaabwe.
The importance of electric bodas relates to being cheap in terms of charging, though people are still worried about the maintenance.
Ku nsonga y'eppikipiki ez'amasanyalaze teyali wadde mbi, naye tetumanyi obuwangaazi n'abeetya nene yaffe bajaaji gye tubadde tuvuga. Si kibi lwa nsonga tuba tusevinga akasente ke twalitadde mu mafuta. Wano tuba lukyajinga bukyaji tesobola kwenkananga kya mafuta. Singa obuwangaazi kuba busobola okutambula nga zino ezaffe, kuba zino munnange ezaffe bajaaji zibadde zimanye ennaku yaffe. Buli wamu sipeeya waali ne kati zino empya ezijja kinasobola otambulanga ekya bajaaji kye tubaddeko.
The government is now working with private companies to install electric charging stations all over the country. Sala Chirabo, live at 8.
Thousands have gathered at Peter's Square to pay their last respect to honor the former Pope Benedict XVI, who passed on the 31st of December 2022 and will be buried at St. Peter's Basilica on the 5th of January 2023. Ansla Mojeru with more on the story.
Benedict XVI is lying in state directly in front of the main altar of St. Peter's Basilica above the church's first Pope, St. Peter. His body was brought into St. Peter's Basilica just after daybreak on Monday, laid out in red vestments and black clerical shoes. The former Pope is dressed in red and gold vestments and wearing a gold mitre. Popes are traditionally dressed in red for their funerals. Benedict XVI has his rosary in his folded hands. The public will be able to view his body until 7 p.m. in the days leading up to his funeral on 5th January. Tuesday and Wednesday, the Basilica will be open earlier at 7 a.m., allowing 12 hours each day for the faithful to say their final goodbyes to their beloved former Pope. His body will be displayed for 3 days in an open casket at St. Peter's Basilica, with people allowed to pay their last respect until 7 p.m. each evening. At least 6,000 people are expected for the funeral of Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI on Jan 5, 2023. Around 3,000 people are expected to visit St. Peter's Basilica on each of the 3 days that the Pope Emeritus' body would be in a wake there. According to Vatican, the former Pope's funeral will be held on Thursday at 9:30 a.m. at St. Peter's Square, presided over by Pope Francis.
As we already told you this morning, from the morning of Monday, the body of the Pope Emeritus will be in the Basilica of St. Peter's, where the faithful can go with their prayers for a last meeting with the Pope Emeritus to greet him and to say goodbye.
Following the funeral for Benedict XVI in St. Peter's Square, the late Pope's remains will be entombed in Vatican under St. Peter's Basilica alongside his 184 predecessors. Benedict XVI was the first German Pope in 1,000 years and the first pontiff to resign from office since 1915. His death on Saturday at the age of 95 brought acknowledgement of a mixed legacy from his strict defense of church doctrine. He is the first pope to step down in 6 centuries after Gregory XII died on New Year's Eve at the age of 95, almost a decade after he stood down because of ill health. Benedict XVI, original name Joseph Alois Ratzinger, was born in 1927 in Germany. The youngest of 3 children, Ratzinger was 6 years old when the Nazis took power in Germany in 1933. Joseph entered the seminary in 1943. In 1941, he was compelled to join the Hitler Youth, and in 1943, he was drafted into German military, serving in an anti-craft unit in Bavaria before being sent to Hungary to set track traps in 1945. After the war, Ratzinger continued his education in seminary. He was ordained a priest in June 1951. In 1953, he was awarded a doctorate in theology at the University of Munich. After earning his teaching license, Higher School of Philosophy and Theology in Freising. In March 1977, Ratzinger was appointed Archbishop of Munich and Freising by Paul VI. On November 25, 1981, he was made prefect of the Congregation of the Doctrine of the Faith by his friend Pope John Paul II. On 19th April 2005, he was elected Pope at the age of 78. His choice of name recalled Saint Benedict of Nursia, the patron saint of Europe and the founder of Western monasticism. During the early years of his papacy, Benedict visited several countries, including Turkey. In 2008, Benedict made his first visit as Pope to the United States, where he spoke against clerical sexual abuse and delivered an address to the United Nations. In February 2013, Benedict announced that he would resign at the end of that month, citing age and health concerns. His financial public address in St. Peter's Square drew a crowd of more than 5,000 people. On February 28th, he formally resigned, taking the title Pope Emeritus after Gregory XII. Benedict XVI will be laid to rest on 5th of January at St. Peter's Square Basilica in Vatican. Anselm Ojaro, live at 8.
And in sports, Uganda Cranes arrived in Tunisia and have kick-started their second phase preparations for the 2022 African Nations Championship with a match against Sudan. Let's have a look.
The 2022 National Basketball League finals could easily go down as by far one of the greatest sporting activities to have happened last year, as NAM Blazers, who played a complete season in the top flight for the first time, put up a spirited fight but lost to 8-time champions, the City Oilers, in a packed-to-capacity Lugogo Indoor Arena. The National League had been on suspension for 2 years owing to the COVID-19 pandemic that saw the cancellation of the other seasons midway, leaving the fans with a hunger for some action, as it has been the norm to open up the season with transfers. 2022 was no different, as it tipped off after teams like the Namwongo Blazers had acquired 4 new signings, including former City Oilers captain Joseph Ikong and Warriors forward Amisi Kamelo Saidi. Collins Kasuja and Richard Ongom were the other signings that joined the NAM Blazers from KIU Titans and KCCMN respectively. The 2022 league games were played on Wednesday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday at KIU in Kansanga, UCU in Mukono, as the final stages came to YMCA in Wandegeya and Lugogo at the Indoor Arena. 13 men's clubs competed in the regular season after 2-time champions Warriors failed to meet the registration The women's tier had 10 teams carrying on from the halted 2020 season. The National Basketball League was then opened with a mouth-watering affair between the eventual finalists Nam Blazers and City Oilers, who came to the game with a hatchet from a previous encounter. The match would later end in favor of the Namongo Blazers, who picked their first win of the season that handed the then 7-time champion City Oilers a shocking start to the season. Fast forward to August and the Blazers beat KIU to reach the league finals as eventual champion City Oilers defeated the UCU Cannons to get to the same stage. Later on, a 4-3 win after Game 7 awarded the Oilers an 8th league title in a row. In another epic league final, the UCU-led Cannons with 75-67 emerged victors to clinch the best-of-7 series 4-3 and win the women's title for the 8th time against the JK-led Dolphins, who came to the clash as favourites.
And Abu hands it off to Wainwright. Not been of his usual calibre so far, Ishmael Wainwright. And just as I say that, he shuts me up with
The national team engagements opened up with financial woes as a number of international tournaments were called off by the federation, and this almost included the men's team not taking part in the 2023 FIBA World Cup qualifiers. The Silverbacks would later miraculously participate in the tournament following a last-minute government intervention and would go as far as reaching the second window of the qualifiers with a withdrawal by Mali. Uganda now awaits a second window where they replay Angola, Ivory Coast and Guinea with low hopes to advance in February from 24th to 26th. Still, in 2022, Uganda hosted the Zone 5 Under-18 Afro-Basket preliminaries for both boys and girls in June at the Lugogo Indoor Arena in Kampala, and the tournament was a qualifier for the FIBA Under-18 African Championships. Uganda's female Under-18 team, the Junior Gazelles, then qualified for the 2022 FIBA Under-18 Women Afro-Basket in Madagascar, where they clinched a record 5th place but missed on qualifying for the Women's 2023 FIBA Under-18 World Cup in Madrid, Spain. Still on waving the Ugandan colors, the City Oilers Uganda's basketball giants finally managed to qualify for the Basketball Africa League after beating Urunani to break the jinx and book a ticket for the event that happens this year in Kigali, Rwanda. Ali Sharan Kiranda, live at 8.
Thank you very much for watching. This has been Live at 8. My name, LONA KASASA Jemima. Until tomorrow, same time, same station. Happy New Year.
We at Ndejje University wake up with a dream to be different, and the desire to do more. That's why we never give up on those that dream with us. And for us, Ndejje University has reimagined both the virtual and physical learning experience in engineering, health science, education, arts, agriculture, technology, sports, and every aspect of life, to give us a fresh verve in life. For more information, visit our website www.ndejjeuniversity.ac.ug, and to apply, visit admissions.ndu.ac.ug. Ndejje University. Come experience a holistic approach to learning.
This week